Some come from like black media. Abuja, ukupim ewo Tamale enane nansa eni nyanenti yese eye Tamale siu awada Tamale eye teaching hospital ano etimi ayenhwe han ama eye patients bi ewa abla umususu sesebi eni kwanseka yalefo no etimi wu ewo hono eno ena namso ama eye current health minister honorable Kwabena Mintakando ebo modern etu ka kopiemu ewo hono na abusia okopiemu hono na wo hwe sin no sene ade no ekono oye na adwese no entwaye ni sansenti no wapamo eye nipa wono ene da eye Tamale teaching hospital ano wayi na di afri eye adwumanimu eno ene announcement na jibru ha de obi e ka ho nsem na abusia na ya abrefon so enam so atuja kese ye pa de kosansem we si so se ensem bi wo hono ma ba ya omonto ombo because ye de eye doctor yakwa akoto no se ono enhwe se banbo ene ya resani apomdin bekoso na emum ya mfana nkwankoto no se bia oxygen ni hono ma ono na mfani sika nkoto ene ma bi ewo hospital ono ma asa enye ono na de sika be kwakoto entu eye honorable Kwabena Mintakando udim dikeki ko ya ukopam no nyansa be ene wum trese uti sene nsem ne ko ni sin na hospital ono no niam bebre wo hono ma a short wa mo ana we mo sede se wo se mutimi bo modin se mode eye Ghana sika ebe fasa ne mani bidiaba entu ko ya na ukopam no na trese nyansa bia enim na ebusia wa fire pa dia ko eye honorable Kwabena Mintakando ene president John Dramani Mahama so se pa no ba be ye e wa mamu mu dia ne ebe yire pa trese oba ye no unya nuru 5 months baga kra bia no apamu bi kakra bia no apamu bi no eno enchire amamu papa ene sebi nyansa abusia wa kan se mebra mpese o kama nkwaje nchire mu no ebe sisi ye
offs na ya doso sometimes yeah I'm not saying that's what happened because Ridge Hospital called you ko hu na mabaka wa hadada before abai dada na eko you see sometimes le to le bia mpanyimfu aye de omototo institutions ano no to de bia you see sometimes na more politician mu ka ho bi you poke your nose everywhere because Ghana the constitution na makwan so mampanyin ne kura to me ni nyina wo no nti ebe ye kire no na ye pam we ye the way ba ye the way kwa ye the way ba ye you free pe adwuma ye foot soldiers ye pe adwuma ma ye nkrofo nti na fe technocrats no so ye de ye nhwini akwa wura ho they are messing and spoiling institutions na so to be no na so eye adwuma no am ne so man Ghana mo technocrats so mo so duebo because you see Ridge Hospital as man beka ya foul penimu said hospital so Excellency John Dramani Mahama as a new hospital and a new edifice at the Ridge Hospital. It's a place I visit quite often. That is if mibusu enibi area hona meko so I know the ins and out of Ridge, and sometimes the nurses, the workers, the doctors, sometimes look doctors bre. Let's speak the truth. Some of them bre. If I should say most of them, nurses, doctors, and easy jobs how? With this country that we live in, this country, that Bibianya politicians think about the next election and not the people who are voting for them. Sometimes you cannot blame the Penimuno or no. Times. Other times to Omwa Kahubi because Ridge Hospital there and Becca a building for Fry yes here. What I said there baby I just can. What I said there baby Esre and ya one. Baby na manyimu ombetimi akwa just can there a buy toy and it's part of the new building Becca Wamu jeja ya mane say ye metete ye say edru baby na mpanyifo kra kona everywhere wamu a machines be private companies na omodi na ase no omu hwemu nya o na eye ya ne arefo na ko outside na chese wamu mo mu kakro menya die nti na chese ye die na empro OPD hokra no a ye dada kakra no wamu ye new one bi wona the nchen ha baby the right ne nifa so na ohwe baby a we bi a bia want to be 94 steps na ye de wheel e de fa ho no said ya tiles full tantan a tiles ne so tronsu atoi wo fa so asa ba buahwe no ye be ka asasem no ha Some of them just, I don't know whether they don't think outside the box. They don't know how to think outside the box, or just because they are CEOs, you give them jobs to do and they just sit there, the normal regular thing that they came to meet, and one or more to ask for. Then who first one thing. So I want to be outside the box, and you cannot think outside what. That's why I like Damboche. One of them say, tell my Damboche, a local government minister, or catch the MCs, CDCs, and they say, Jack, and you man mobile and it's kind of I buy one yes can farm now. You should use your gumptions. What school? Opien Minyansa, yeah. Obien Nyansa, all them say, Uko square the Nyansa in the end become who fear the Ekaho. Then you apply that, say, Baya, yet you may be someone, Sabaya Juma extraordinary. That makes you unique. And me, I always strive to be different. That is why I speak my mind without fear. Madam for no crime, make the man the act now. Without fear or favor. This is me. But you see, sometimes in Penny Follows where the dead you man, I don't know. One more answer. It's not as if they don't think or they don't think about you, the human being. Because nipa wo yo wokwa na doctor bi nurse bi wo bia wu won nsa no bia akoda bi penmu bi just say nipa bi obia na just say wo hwe say de o maboto ena my catch was a Red Hospital hodie. Sometimes nurses do music aduane om de ba om de ma patient o patient bia beda ho o nyes kan dua ne be ne amana aduane adi. But some of them have a big any subai. I agree, and that is where manager be at. A big subai, a big as a man who was and was a big deal. My would see a year, dear Nipanua, Yera Quablamin cat, a candle, Equatono. The reason why Nipano free mono. Would ya sometimes to say, you don't actually have control anyway. Because you actually went there because they had told you some of the issues they are having, the problems they are having in Tamale Hospital. Niema and Akadia, a hospitals, Abaya, Sabiani BND. Akadia, Abaya, I told to be a common gloves. The Baya Jumakra, Wamuni be common gloves. The Baya Jumanu Krabini Hop. Because Pembe, no politician, they can't in Aswa. What they can't in Aswa, baby, I see, and one yes can Yana said, yeah, and first care Safata Fanko. And a Jumana Quaquaya Diama, or Monsieur Jumanua, Wamudi Juma Diacrano. Not acquired in what in one. Would you let's watch what transpired there. Go Facebook on your 95.1 FM. On your 95 go Facebook. Now they see what actually I wanted to play the voice first. Okay, Yanko. But see what actually happened transpired there, because look, honorable, it's okay when you are going for visits. I already mean but this man's I think sir, this one is just showing powers where power lies, because you also found those and it's only when you found out that the person has all disrespect too, then you decided to show him where power lies. Would you enter the course?
There's one here, and there's a staff. The staff also has staff here, and that's why you brought me here to come and see. Is another point. Meanwhile, it's not accessible to the patient.
No, it's only accessible when the taps open. So that's the situation. So for a while now, water hasn't been flowing in. And that's why I wanted you to see. You see that there are sachets. People enter there and they use sachet water and then just dump it there. And that's the situation.
Please, even if it is not being used, you can't clean the place and lock it.
No, you can clean the place and lock it.
There's no water to scrub the place.
You don't have water to use. You can't make arrangement for the tankers, the tankers to bring water. And so you don't have that arrangement. Dr. Chidi, you are telling me that you can't have water for this place to run this facility.
No, we get
This is Dr. Valentine. He's the HOD of the emergency. And one night we didn't have water at the emergency, and he himself got them to get the yellow barrels to come and bring water for the nurses to work. So at our level, sometimes my HOD does his best.
Yes, I agree. And I'm the first person to admit that there are challenges with respect to water in Tamale. But that's why a leader here, that's why you're a CEO here. Not until we resolve the issue completely. I've been on the committee for a very long time, and we have always been talking about this. And we think we know that you have a way of providing water for the facility until we solve the issue permanently. And that is what you have been briefing us. We know that the Tamale water challenge goes beyond the facility. It's well known in the country and all that. But you cannot tell me that, because if you are not very careful, people come here and pick the diseases from here and go home. That's what it is. And you know, you're a medical doctor.
Yes.
So they'll come here because there's no water. The person is sick. He comes here and picks the disease and he goes with the disease because there's no water.
So we have the two.
That's the point that if you're a CEO, you should think outside the box. But sometimes when you think outside the box, that's the kind of hospitals lights. And in fact, Abai has even instructed them. I don't know whether I started yet, Juma, that they should pay their light and water from internally generated funds. Here is the case, most of the teaching hospitals, nipa dodo na ebekwa ho niska enti wamu eda national health insurance so tiemie most of the government facilities obekwa ho no dodo anu eti ho no ekra national health insurance card, and so even generating internally generated funds no edne hospital supplies obi na deba enro obi na deba just almost everything, and arrangement between national health insurance and the facilities. And we know what even Abai institutions can light mail maker ministries sometimes obekwa ministries or more no o pe baby ajon sokra yanka no kra Ministry of Health, Ministry of whatever, open baby Joshua, and your minister na mu office ya. Adam baby Joshua in a hot time, a hot bound. They themselves find it difficult when there's no water. So the lady said, see, even my head of department, sometimes omu yensuya, onu ne kope jarika no diaba, enti ebi boa. But to what extent? How does it? And minister appreciates the problems there because in Tamale, they have crisis. But also you see you say Tamale hospital. Now him say crisis where ho. Now him how to manage the crisis. You cannot run a hospital because hospital cannot go without water. It's not may so down to technocrats because we have a bigger challenge than what he went to see. We have a bigger challenge that now saying much remain. Wama kasa how uko Ghana mattress don't want and your private ya don't want to buy mattress no one more year juma hono nyamenkwa. It is only God. I commend him for what he's doing because he needs to go everywhere to assess and see how best. Let's listen again. There's another video. Let's listen again.
So there was no extra anyway to preparation. So that was the
and this is why the person died.
But all the resuscitation was done here. We called the ICU and they said they didn't have any vent available for the intubation. And at that point, there's really little that you'll be able to do without the intubation. So the patient was being bagged here until the patient could.
So when the patient go here,
How many minutes did they get to assess the patient?
Oh, within 10 minutes. So usually when you score red, you are immediately brought to the red zone. There is no situation where you have to delay. You are pushed straight to red. So as soon as you are tried red, you are brought in there.
and then when did you communicate with the ICU when they told you they didn't have any ventilator?
So I think immediately we identified that the patient needed to have been intubated. The ICU call was made.
And they said they didn't have any.
Yes, so there were no available beds.
So if somebody tells you that at the time they got to know that there was a patient like that, there was an available mobile vet, how would you take it as a man in charge of it?
I mean, if there was an available mobile vent anytime, we would have used it. We take patients here all the time.
There's a bit of conflict between what you are telling us now and what they are also saying. So it is either an issue of lack of proper communication or there's a problem somewhere. Either it is an issue of
look, me ko attack right me ma me yare ya ye je ne to European hospital. Before me do na me brother ba kwa ka trem say ye twere duro mana. Otumi kwatena ba bia pharmacy ho. Obekwa na nipa na odi nkomo. Enti otewo atwen sa odi nkomo wi ansa wa frɛ no. Manye ni cheso otumi tena 1 hour. Na nipa ni di nkomo. Tena ho me ba enso ye di aduro e di ahwe afo. Da mimi kwaduru ho. Omu twere aduro ma ye se ye nkonkoto. Sa time no. Me nuan so okwa me se ye nko. Nipa no eduru ho a ye me kwai na ma me no odidi. In fact, what to adenim so odidi awie. Na nipa me so no say no, this one is somebody I know. Me ye rough asem to me. She had to wash her hands and no sorry ye. Said no ni be no even prescription no crime there's a problem with it to go or find out. So if I was not there present, my brother will have to sit, wait for her to eat, finish eating, do whatever she's doing. Meanwhile, nipa niwu yeah diedro. So sometimes these things do happen. Yankwa Tamale, yani a correspondent in Ninkomo. What exactly happened that day? Minu abema. Christopher amwako ewa homaso. Christopher kafra mo san friend bi na try na yene ne Ninkomo. Sometimes, but you see during the scaffold what Tamale no, oh say Drew baby no, honorable Suhini bufu. If I no cry na pata minister at a point. One also bufu ye. Why not come here kasa say dia nkomo na ekọ no asa nipa no. One shada anfa buo ma minister. That they should also look at. But both ways, kind of by responsibility to make sure that whatever every hospital needs, you might not need everything or you might not get everything. But the utmost best, because healthcare is primary. Healthcare in every government is primary. Yankwa Chris Marchana Pay.
Hello.
Marchana Pay, Chris.
I'm not on Boko.
Chris, Tamale Hospital, Minister Honorable Akando, Obaye no Oko Hobi.
I'm a hobby pa.
Then see.
Hello.
Then see Pote Sadano.
Okay, so Minister no he came on a surprise visit to Tamale Teaching Hospital. Na confirm visit to Eba and say na referral case be in Eba hospital and Afenyo za nipa no ehre nimpa na Ekoba and say according to hospital management nipa no omode ne Eba no facility na first.
Christopher. Hello, Christopher. Mon check him out. Yeah, here can say yes, Sabesanka Christopher Biom no watch. I mean they have challenges there, but an American kind of a no. I buy what I said yet. You found CEO so also I said yet. Both must go hand in hand. Say by a healthcare system. This is showing how bad, how terrible Ghana's healthcare system is. Enti na mo yare a ne atam mo kwa abrochiri no mo politicians kuro ya eye papa enkade de ebesi ni senkaye papa kanese mo yare a ne atebiri mo kwa abrochiri ya recommend to landing dan no ba omi anya covid landing enra vice president landing ya ye ni landing sika no ye be den wo hwe ni ye and let's clean the system. I'm done.
Abuja baby a wo hwe me bia wo haw ne amane kodan na bia da eda wo so bia no bo modern se woni me bedi nkomo ye de samna nwanwaso bi aba e frɛ ne se yesika kokko na gold samna wo haw bia da eda wo so bia wo hia sa samna we se bi afi wo ye bema wo hwe me wo bema sam wo pom wo bema ye ketwa brabaji bula matali eduro bi na wo bema enye kese watimi abo adwuma so ache e wo empem ye de akwankyere bi aba abuzuan no ye hwehwe wo hyebrim a ye frɛ ne se mpelifo akwankyere ana se wo betima friend back to sender onipa bi ha onipa bi tata wato bet e wo ho se wo se ne ti bi obeku bo modern so be fa numbers na egu screen ase na woni mi akasa me hwehwe wo hyebrim wi a na bo modern se me kyerɛ wo ne wo beye